email me and asking me if they've gotten to me yet. So Bob.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Good.
That was a very nice, bright greeting in the packet, Diane.
All right, we are live streaming.
Hard cock and volley.
All right, John, we should be able to run through this meeting pretty quick so you can get back to, so we can get back to the, to the game.
Playoff. Yeah.
Art's having a little computer trouble, but he's on his way.
Okay. And I talked to Scott. He should be on in a minute.
But my waterfall green screen didn't come up. Apparently it's a drought or something. I'm not sure. Or a technical issue.
Andrew Marsh.
Hello. Okay. Let me try. Let me resend you an invite. I've got, we don't have Jimmy yet.
Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan,
Sorry, Art, I was muted.
that's okay. How do I get my mug on here?
I just sent you a thing that should say ask to start video.
It's on the, I don't see it. It's on this screen here. Oh,
On the bottom
the
left
host
corner.
asked you to start your video. Start my video.
Yeah.
There it is. Sorry, guys.
Hello, Art.
Hey, Art.
Hi, guys. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Have a New Year. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Who
Oh,
missed Scott?
I have to comb
Jimmy,
my hairs.
hi.
Can you hear us, Jim?
Chief, how you doing?
I'm well, Art. Thank you.
You a
Jim,
little lonely?
Well, I'm actually in Wisconsin tonight.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
tonight I'm not, well,
that's,
yeah.
that's why you're smiling.
So yeah, so we had a full
Good for
day.
you.
Yeah, we had a full day. We had to go buy material to do some repairs on the barn, and yeah, Karen and I got to spend the day together, so it was really
Oh,
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
How's the weather? How's the weather up there?
It's cold. It's
Yeah.
it's really cold. The snow, I mean, it really hasn't gotten above freezing much here, but it's like there where just the radiant heat will, make the snow evaporate. But
Yeah.
Sarah had drifts against the house that were upwards of 4 feet.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the Midwest.
Yep. Yep. So real pretty out here though.
Oh yeah.
It's really reminiscent of the part of New Jersey I grew up near.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, you see the hilltops and with all the leaves off the tree, it gives you a different feel for the landscape.
And they have some beautiful different type of trees.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
autumn it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know we go up to La Crosse in New Albany, Iowa once in a while, La Crosse, Wisconsin,
Uh-huh.
on the Mississippi. That's gorgeous country.
Well, if you come up, make sure you let us know because we're only 23 miles from La Crosse.
Well, I plan on it because we may be coming up depending on
All right.
circumstances to New Albany in August for a new family reunion.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And with my family, that's my wife's family, that's about, I don't know, 1,300 people. I mean,
Wow.
I lost count. No, not quite that many, but
Yeah.
bro, it's unbelievable. But yeah, okay, I may take you up on it, Chief.
All right. We have my number. I'll be
All right.
disappointed if you don't.
Well, if I come up, I will.
That goes for all of you. If you're out, we bought this big house to entertain and have guests. So, feel free to give us a call and come visit with us.
Very nice.
Good.
If you know how to use a weed eater, it's even better.
Yeah.
So, no, we really don't. We
Is that-
actually, they had let the land go for a while, but we pretty much got it under control now.
Good.
Yeah.
That's some rich soil up there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, can you hear us now? Jim,
There he is.
can you hear us now? We can't hear you, Jim.
Are you muted, Jim?
I don't see he's muted. You still waiting on Andy?
He's
Right
having
now, can you hear
technical
me?
difficulties. He should be here soon.
We got you, Jim.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Jim.
All right, cool. How is everybody?
Good.
Good.
Hey, Chris, do you know any of those 19 applications that applied for your position?
The only ones I know or I'm acquainted with are the ones that went out of their way to come out here and visit the town and visit
Uh-huh.
with us.
Oh, nice.
Prior to that, I didn't know any of them.
Oh, wow.
So. Well, Art, I'm sorry, I take that back. I do know John Stein because he's the chief of Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Well,
Sorry, I was saying better late than never.
how many police does Empire have?
He's the only full-time officer.
Oh,
So they've got a number of part-time officers. You know, they have one that's nearly full-time.
Still trying to get Andy in, John?
We're working on it right now.
boy, help me.
With what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Diane,
Yes.
I owe you an apology in about 25 or 30 of these. I'll be dropping them off tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Got two.
Mike, was Andy going to be joining us from home?
I believe so, yes.
Ian, wasn't he the one who was talking about a record meeting?
I didn't say that.
I did. Because he said it.
You know what? Let's see when Jim gets back. Let's go ahead and we can go ahead and get started. All right. It is 7:10 on January 11th, 2021. We're glad that 2020 is behind us. A new year. I'm looking forward to this next year working with everybody. Got a lot of good things going on and another exciting year. So with that, can I have roll call, please?
Michael Hellman.
Here.
Capanell.
Here.
Harmon.
Here.
Bob Bolin.
Here.
John Curtis.
Here.
Art Cacavelli.
Here.
Jim Clark.
Here.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of the Allegiance. I pledge the allegiance
Allegiance
To the
to
flag
the flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States of America,
and to the republic
public for which it stands, one nation, under God,
God,
indivisible,
individual,
and
liberty,
liberty and freedom for all.
Okay, please be seated. Right, we have an agenda in front of us tonight. Do I have a motion?
I would move to approve the agenda for January 11th, 2021 meeting.
Do I have a second?
second.
Motion second, discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. Does anybody feel they have a conflict of interest with our agenda tonight?
I do serve on bills for Allied Towing.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Thank
All
you.
Okay, with that note, we'll move to the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes from December 14th, 2020.
And a second?
I second.
Motion is second, discussion? Hearing none, raise your hand and say, all in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Hearing none, we will move down to our bills. Do I have a motion?
I would move to approve the bills to January 11th, 2021, excluding Allied Towing.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion is second. All right, discussion. We have any questions on the bills that we need to get clarified?
I thought I'd start the year off and not have any questions. Right. So
Wow.
I just
All
thought,
right, Art.
I just thought I'd do that.
That's gonna help us move this meeting. That just
Got
saves 7 minutes.
All right.
All right, anybody else? Okay, let's do a quick roll call.
Michael Hillman,
Yes.
Scott Pennell,
Yes.
Doug Harmon,
Yes.
Bob Boland,
Yes.
John Curtis,
yes,
Art Cacavelli.
Yes.
Did you get Jim on this one?
But he was,
I should be on this one, yes.
This one, yeah, Jim should vote on this one.
okay, Jim
Yeah.
Clark.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do I have a motion for Allied's bill?
I would move to approve Allied Towing bills to January 11th, 2021.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, discussion? Roll call?
Michael Hillman,
Yes.
Doug Pennell,
Yes.
Doug Harmon,
Yes.
Bob Boland,
Yes.
John Curtis,
yes.
Art Cacavelli.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any unscheduled public comment for tonight, Diane or
No,
John?
sir. No,
All
sir.
right. Thank you. We'll go down to planning and community development. In our packets, we were provided from our planning the group that we have the planning contract with, to kind of give us an update and some of the things that have been going on. I don't believe Barb's on with us tonight. And is there anything that council would like clarification on?
I did have, I think Barb's the only one can really answer this. I think the only thing I wanted to know is, she says Soda Creek Highlands, they withdrew their application. I thought they had before, but that's irrelevant. And then it says the applicant also requested information as well as requirements that must be met for a few alternative developments. I'm not quite understanding what that discussion would involve. I'm just looking for enlightenment on that. I mean,
Andy, I saw Andy pop on, and
if it's a difficult thing, we can address it some other time. I was just curious.
yeah, well, we'll get the clarification on that and get that out to everybody, Art.
Okay.
Did you make that note, John, please? Okay. All right, with that, we'll move on. We're going to move down to ordinance first reading. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to, go ahead.
Move to approve ordinance Number one, Series 2021, ordinance amending rates and charges for water and sewer service, making conforming amendments to the Idaho Springs Municipal Code.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
What?
Go
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jimmy.
I was just wondering what this would entail, another rate increase, Mayor?
So we have, and remember, this is just first reading. We'll be able to discuss this throughout between now and the next 30 days, a work session if council desires. But we have in our study over, I think it was the next either 5 to 7 years of what we needed to increase our water and sewer rates to keep up with the payments for the wastewater plant. We were gauged to increase, and I may have these backwards, but I believe water was 9% and sewer was 8%. And we decided when we were doing the budget to go just 5% to try to not take and go up as much this year with all the stuff that was going on. So the increase is set at 5% for this, and is what we budgeted for.
Is that 5% for sewer and 5% for water?
Correct. Yes.
And how many years do we anticipate this to continue as far as you said over the next 6 years? Is that going to include?
It was either, I think the study took us out. It might have been 7 years, Art. I would have to look. We would have to pull the study to look at those, but we can get that to you as well. We can get you those year after year of what the schedule was for the increases year after year.
Because and I was just new and I probably didn't get it all straight, but I did write an email to the gentleman that presented this from the, I think he was a financial consultant or advisor. So I'm not sure about his title. And I wrote him 2 emails because I remember him telling me, according to my notes, that he had calculated it per some type of formula. And I asked him if I could get a copy of that formula or if he could be more descriptive. He never responded back to me. I was a little disappointed in that. Once again, it was my being new. Maybe I didn't proceed correctly, but if we have to, I mean, you're talking about total 10% on that bill, sewer, water, and we do that for 5 or 6 years. That's I don't know who's going to be able to afford that.
Well, I will have Andy reach out. Can you send your email and the questions that you were wanting, Art, to Andy, so he at least has an idea of what you're.
I'll have to dig it up. It'll take me a while. If not, I'll try to rewrite it from memory. And I don't remember what I had for dinner, so I don't know how that's going to come out. But I'll see what I can do.
Okay, we just want to make sure that you get that information. And like I said, this is first reading.
Right.
Like we probably need to have a work session with this topic on it.
That would be great.
Do this and go back to the study and the way that it was set up for our loans and everything.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Any more discussion? Now roll call.
Michael Hillman,
Yes.
Scott Pennell,
Yes.
Nick Harmon,
Yes.
Bob Boland,
Yes.
John Curtis,
Yes.
Rick Hickavaley,
Yes.
Ian Clark.
No.
All right. We will move down to the city administrator's report. Is there anything in Andy's report that you might want clarified? All right. With none, we will move to the city clerk, Diane.
Mayor and council, you have my staff report for review with no request for action.
And Diane has some good news for us tonight.
Sales tax came in for the month of October. It was $10,000 more than this same time last year.
Unbelievable.
So I think that's to hear that is, one, unbelievable, but we should be very thankful that since the pandemic, we had that 1 month that really hurt us but since then we've either been really close or over.
That's
So
a win.
Did you say November, Diane?
October.
Oh, October? Okay, thank you. That's great.
Is that right? Or it wouldn't be November, Diane?
I'm sorry. You're right.
November.
November. Okay,
November number, I think.
super.
That's a win. Good W.
All right. Thank you, Diane. Any other questions for Diane? All right, Chief.
Mayor and Council, I'll refer you to my report. I have no requests for action. I did include stats from our the last year. A couple things I would like to point out is that thefts, although we report 54 cases, those are predominantly petty thefts, shoplifting from the convenience store, and some thefts from the supermarket. The 18 stolen vehicles, many of those are I guess by law can be deemed stolen, but the vehicles were covered. There were cases where roommates loaned out keys, or coworkers loaned out keys to the cars and the cars were not returned in a timely manner. Those vehicles all been recovered. We've only had very few auto thefts where keys weren't in the car. Most recently, we had a wave. They're all unrelated, where people were just prowling, looking for cars that were idling on the street. We had several of those, two of which came from our convenience stores. To my knowledge, all but one vehicle has been recovered. We had a motorcycle theft. That vehicle was not recovered, but what we believe happened is somebody pulled up with a pickup truck and several people muscled it into the back of the truck and drove away. By no means am I blaming the victims, but it appears that we've started a campaign to make people more cognizant of how vulnerable their property is. So far we've been getting good responses. We did have one of the ACC dump trucks was stolen earlier last year. In that case, the vehicle was left unlocked in their yard. Keys were over the visor. That vehicle was recovered at St. Anthony's a short time later. As you can see, we did see a rise, almost 500 calls for service over last year. We're still low compared to 2017. And of course, calls for service include everything from officer initiated contacts to being dispatched to calls. So it was a good year. I would hope that we have a year very much the same.
All right, thank you, Chief. Anybody have any?
Hey, Chief, those ordinance violations, is that the under Zach's area? Is that?
Yeah, many of those calls we generated, or they were generated from citizen complaints.
Yeah.
The vast majority of those resulted in letters to property owners, and we received compliance, so they never went into the court system. There were a couple of abandoned vehicles we summoned people into court for. So yeah, overall, people are very responsive to letters advising them they're in violation of.
Well, he's a good man. You see him out there working all the time, so
yeah,
good to have him.
yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any other questions for the Chief? So just a quick follow-up. We did talk with KRW last week and vetted through some of the names. What we've directed KRW to do is go ahead and I believe there was either 7, we're getting them down to 7 or 8 names, and to do the phone interviews and bring us back the top 6 for our personnel committee and our panel, our interview panel. We'll get together and interview those folks. So that's where we are on that. A couple more weeks, and then hopefully we find one of these candidates that will fit into what we're looking for. Chief believes we've got a couple that could potentially be okay. So that's good to hear. And we will move on. All right, John, Public Works, and, street, water, wastewater.
Mayor and council, you have my staff report, and I decided to start the year off correctly that I should spend some money. So I do have one request for action.
Would you just real quick, we have it in our packets, John, just explain to the council exactly what this is.
This is a follow-up to the 1992 Wheeler report. Basically, we asked the company to do another study as to what demand of water we would need for future growth for Idaho Springs, and to kind of sum up all of our water rights, water usage, and that type of thing.
All right, thanks, John. Well, John's asking for a little money to get this done. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve $25,000 to HRS Water Consultancy from line item 51005-103 for water study plan.
Do I have a second?
Again,
I second.
Discussion?
No, I think this covers everything we need to do, you know, with the EQRs and available water, you know.
So this will be an in-depth study then?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, they're going to go into the hydrology of the river also and see where we're at in drought seasons and that type of thing. So it should be a pretty good study. These guys have actually worked for the city for a long time, so they know our needs and our wants and our system very well.
I would assume this is something we do every 10 years or every 8 years or something, or?
Yeah, like I said, the last study was 1992.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it probably should be
Been a while.
done more frequently, but yes.
Okay, any other discussion?
it just seemed like the timing is really good on this, considering the way we seem to be drying out around here in the long term.
Okay. All right, can I have a roll call?
Michael Hillman,
Yes.
Scott Pennell,
Yes.
Doug Harmon,
Yes.
Bob Boland,
Yes.
John Curtis,
Yes.
Eric Heckavaley,
Yes.
Jim Clark.
Yes.
All right. Well, it is 7:29. John Kane, you're gonna make us say what you have, John.
I think call-in user is Andy, and I just wanted to make sure if there was anything you needed to say or anything, or
Anybody have any questions for Andy? All
Good
right.
night, Andy.
Okay.
I wouldn't think of extending the meeting longer.
Always somebody. All right, good first meeting of the year. It is 7:30, meeting adjourned.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Night.